Hello. Welcome to Podcasts. I'm your host, Cassie, as always, and I'm really happy for you to be here, for me to be here, for all of us to be here together. Like a big happy family. And I am actually doing this podcast recording after doing a live Instagram video where I was just like, you know what, I want to talk about polarity, and I was doing my makeup and just having a little chat with a couple peeps who popped on, and it inspired me. I was like, you know what? I need to do a podcast episode about this because, whoa, I feel like I can riff on this for a little bit. And it's just a perspective that inspired me and inspired the people that were watching. And they were like, wow, that just made my day. And I was like, whoa, okay, me too. Let me take this to all the people, all of my peeps that like to listen to my ideas and my podcast. So I always appreciate you being here, and let's get into it. So, as I'm recording this right now, I'm not as prepared as I usually am because I like to typically write out, notes and things like that. But lately, I've been kind of just going off the cuff because my brain works a little bit better lately. Ever since I stopped drinking so much and my eating habits are better, it's amazing how much your brain can function so much better when you are not clogging up your body with shit that it does not need, and that it's just focusing on its energy of detoxifying, and the brain power isn't there. So my brain power is here, even though I must say I recorded a video today earlier, a piece of content, and it completely deleted. It was about a half hour of this beautiful, I was speaking from the heart, and it was so good. And it freaking deleted. So I'm now realizing, because this is not the first time or second time or third time that this has happened, I need to get some sort of different recording something. I need to record my videos differently. So anyways, that's just a side note about me and my personal life and my coaching life and all the things that I'm doing. It's just, I need the technology to be working for me, especially as a solo entrepreneur who needs time. I don't want to be sitting down recording 1.5 hour video all day because my technology isn't working. All right, anyways. So let's talk about the present moment and being intentional and how that actually shapes our future. At this moment, I don't know exactly what this episode is. You know before I do. As you're listening to this, you know what this is called because it's titled, but I don't know it yet, and I will come up with it. And just because it might go a little bit all over the place, but it's going to be a really good, really solid idea that was inspiring today. Okay, so basically when we are present in this moment and we are intentional with what we're doing in this moment, then we are able to create a memory of this moment. So, for example, if I am sitting on my phone, on my couch, with my laptop out, writing an email, and watching TV, so I'm literally doing all of the things, right? Like I'm watching TV, writing an email, looking at my phone, scrolling on Instagram, maybe making some notes on the side, doing all of these different things. I'm pretty much disconnected from being in the present moment because I'm not only distracted, but my energy is completely dispersed. It's not focused at all. So when we are able to actually focus our energy, we are able to truly be present in this moment, and we can actually use intention with whatever that we're doing. So it's hard to have an intention when we're completely scattered in our energy, but if we can zone in and really focus on whatever it is that we're doing. So let me give you this example of my past. I've just posted about this on my Instagram not too long ago. Of 10 years ago, one of the greatest days of my life was swimming in the Great Barrier Reef in Australia. It was amazing. It was literally one of the best days of my entire life. That is always one of the days, one of the moments of my life that comes to mind when I'm ever asked, what was the best day of your life? What was the best experience of your life? You know, that kind of thing. That always comes to my mind. So that comes to my mind. Why? Well, I was wide-eyed, taking everything in. I was looking at all of the fish, all of the Nemo, all of the sharks. I was feeling the perfect temperature of that water. I was feeling the snorkel in my mouth. I was breathing in the air. I was tasting the salt water. You know, all of my senses were being used, and I was really noticing how I was using all of my senses in that present moment. Now, this wasn't intentional, obviously. I wasn't 10 years ago like, okay, so someday I'm going to be a life coach, and I really want to take this in so I can remember this and tell people. No, I was not in my mind at all. I was actually in my body, and that's why I was able to take in all of the sensations that were coming in during that day, during that moment, during, you know, those hours of me being in that ocean. I remember specifically them saying, Cassie, we gotta go. And I was like, are you sure? Because I'm ready to stay in this water forever. I did not want to get out. I remember those moments because I was so excited about what I was experiencing because it felt so good, right? It felt so good. It wasn't even necessarily what I was seeing, but it was how I was feeling. So how you are feeling at any given moment will determine how you reflect upon that moment from the future. So right now I'm reflecting on that day, even if maybe I got stung by a jellyfish and I don't remember, or maybe like one of the people that I was on the boat with was like an asshole to me. I don't remember that, you know? You don't always remember everything. And it's a curious thought to think about how your memories are formed and why they're formed, why certain ones stick out to us, why certain memories are completely repressed, maybe. That's a trauma coping response. Or it's not even something that we just remember because it's not important, or there wasn't any energy or emotion behind any given moment in the past, so we're not remembering that any given moment. But this is my example that I'm using, me in Australia, is so prevalent because I just remember feeling free. I remember feeling expansive. I remember feeling inspired. I remember feeling so untouchable and like unstoppable because I was on the other side of the world where Nemo was filmed. Finding Nemo was filmed. I like how I'm saying it was filmed there. Obviously it's a cartoon, but you know what I mean. It was the most incredible experience because of the way that I felt. Now there could have been other people. In fact, there was. I know another person who was with our group and completely seasick the entire time. So her memory of our trip is completely different because she felt so sick and she felt so bad. And so her memory, maybe because of the way she felt in that time, it wasn't so expansive and beautiful like I felt. Maybe she doesn't even really remember that day or that moment or that time, or maybe she really does, but it's more traumatic for her. Isn't that interesting? That the same exact experience that two people have, one could be traumatic, the same exact experience. One could be traumatic, one person can experience it as trauma, and another person can experience it as the best day of their entire lives. That's crazy. And I just got the chills. I'm getting the chills. That's crazy. Two people can experience the same exact circumstances. One person will embody and take that in as trauma, and another person will take that in as the best day of their lives. Whoa. That's crazy. So that goes to show how much personal power we have. Obviously, we can't always control if we're seasick or not, but you get my point. It's perspective. It's how you're showing up in the moment. Or maybe, let's say that person wasn't seasick, they were just fighting with their boyfriend the whole time on the trip. Say it was a couple fighting the whole time, and they got into a horrible fight, and they ended up breaking up. And that trip is now a trauma event because they went through hell trying to fight for the love of their life, or whatever it is, you know? And there I am off in the water, swimming with the sharks, with a snorkel, so fucking happy. And I'm writing this down in my journal as the best day of my entire life. Yet the same exact experience that someone else is having, they're writing it down as the worst moment of their life. Now, what can we do with this information? What can we do with this information? Okay, so we can decide not necessarily what we've done in the past. Yes, we can reframe what has happened to us in the past and pull up the things that we did take in as trauma and transmute that into inspiration today. We can do that today. But what we're doing now is we're creating new memories for ourselves. We're not trying to re-traumatize ourselves or bring trauma into our life or make ourselves feel shitty in the future because of what we're doing right now. We want to perpetuate an inspiring future for ourselves by creating beautiful moments now. And the way that we can do that too, right now, it's kind of like the positive ripple effect that we can create for ourselves. It is a positive ripple effect we can create for ourselves. So when right now, to this day, today, say I want to manifest, let me just think of something that I want to manifest. I want to manifest having 30 plants in my house, okay? Let's just pretend that I want that. And yeah, I do want more plants, but 30 is not the number. I'm just making this up. So say I want to manifest 30 plants in my house. And I know how happy that would make me. It's like my ultimate dream to be a crazy plant lady. And so what do I do to manifest all of these plants? Okay, so when it comes to manifestation, it's not about what you want, but it's about how you feel. So how do you want to feel? You want to feel how you would feel if you were to have all those plants. That's why you want to have those plants, because you want to feel the feeling of having all of those plants. Do you pick up what I'm putting down? Okay? So we want to, instead of thinking about how do I get these things, what we do is we want to think about how do I want to feel? Okay? And in order to get into these feelings of expansiveness and abundance and to be magnetic is to go back to those beautiful times in your life when you went to Australia and swam with the fishies and the Great Barrier Reef, and you take that emotion and you pull that into your now moment. That will help you manifest your 30 plants. Is taking that Great Barrier Reef Day feeling that literally when I was thinking about it today, it gave me chills like crazy because I was in that moment. My mind thought I was there because my body was feeling the emotions of being there. So we can use our past experiences to manifest what we want now, today. And it's a twofold. We also want to now create these amazing moments that we can use in our future when we want to manifest in our future. Does that make sense? So we want to use our past experiences that are so beautiful, take those emotions, pull that into our now manifestations in order to uplift our energy and to bring our energy to this place where it's just magnetic and so beautiful and so epic. Like a Great Barrier Reef Day. You pull that into your now moment to make a new memory that is so epic, whatever you're doing. Maybe I'm at the park doing cartwheels and people are staring and laughing, and I find it hilarious. Like for me, that's like a really good memory. For some, it might be traumatizing, but that would be really funny for me. And then maybe a year from now, I'll go back to that cartwheeling moment and pull that energy. So you really want to connect these powerful, beautiful moments that you've had throughout your life and you want to connect them, and it's an energetic connection. And you take that feeling and you use it in your everyday life now in order to create more of that feeling. And then that feeling will normalize itself in your body, because a lot of times, especially if your best epic memories are when you were a kid, that is telling me that you are repressing a lot in your adulthood, and you are not coping, and you are not allowing yourself to play as an adult. And that is so freaking important for adults to do. We think that when we grow up, we need to stop the play and we need to be serious. And I think that is a horrible, horrible state of mind to be in, because then we're only going to be like, oh my God, my childhood though, when I didn't have any worries, and you're just going to be wishing to go back in the past. And that's not what we want. We want to create our best future by using our past. So take those moments from your childhood and feel those feelings of jumping on the trampoline with all of your cousins, and your cousin peeing on the trampoline and it was so funny, and it was such a beautiful day. The sun was shining and you were sweating, and the smell, like all of the senses. You want to really take in all of the senses from that memory. Close your eyes and like be there, like go, use your imagination and do that. Pull that feeling into your now moment, and then you're going to normalize that feeling in your body today by allowing yourself to be okay with feeling excitement and joy from jumping on a trampoline. I mean, it doesn't matter what it is. There's techniques that I like to calm my nerves and up my energy, like shaking out your body, like literally shaking out your body. I've talked about this before. I'm not sure if I've talked about it on my podcast, actually. That's something I probably should look into. I have done a nervous system regulation episode, but I think I want to do another one because I've learned even more since then, and I've done a lot more with the nervous system. I'll have to listen to it back. But we got to do what we can for ourselves to feel good, right? And we shouldn't feel ashamed to want to feel good, and it shouldn't be, it's got to be normalized. What's normalized is stress, and I'm so sick of that. I'm sick of that being normalized. So how are you creating your future today? What kind of memories are you creating for yourself today? Are you constantly in the reactive side and creating all of these like traumatic memories for yourself? Because it doesn't matter what happens to you, it's how you're taking it in as it's happening to you or happening for you, right? Just like the example of the couple fighting the entire trip, or just swimming, or me swimming around in the ocean the entire trip. Two totally different experiences within the same circumstances. So make sure within your circumstances that you are doing all that you can to pull out all of the goodness that you can, because your future self is going to look back and be like, I am so thankful that I was in that state of mind, because now I can actually use that today. And it's a muscle that you need to train continuously. And it's doable for all of us, but we just have to practice. It's like thinking that we can be a professional gymnast after only having one lesson or going to the gym one time. We need to continuously work on these things that we're not used to doing, like shaping our perspectives or shifting our ways of thinking or opening up our minds, expanding the horizons of what's possible, and just thinking about things in different ways. And that's what I'm here for, is to open up the mind, to shed my perspective, and to help you understand that your life matters. It matters for you. It matters for everyone around you. And what you're doing today will impact you in the future, because everything you do has a ripple effect, whether it's good or bad. And guess what? You might be doing the same thing as another person, but you might be labeling it as a bad thing, and they might be labeling it as a good thing. So be careful with how you're labeling things. I definitely don't recommend saying I'm a good boy or good girl, I've done good or I've done bad. No, we just want to feel alignment. And when we start to label things as good or bad, and then we're going to think that we're good or bad, and we're not. We're just all of it. We're dark, we're light, we're good, we're bad, we're fucking humans, and that's the beauty of us. But it's so cool to know that our power resides right now in our intentions in this moment in order for us to create who we want to be in the future, and in order for us to be able to use our now moment as a tool. So we can be our own guru, we can be our own guide, but we have to know that this moment matters right now. It's not just, whatever, I fucked up today, so I'm just gonna wash away the day. Retrain yourself from thinking in that limited way, because life is way more expansive than that. I believe in you, and I'm here for you. Please share this message if it resonated. Please let me know if it did. Message me on Instagram. Send me an email. I don't care. Just let me know. I love to hear it. Write a review on my podcast. Subscribe. All the things. I really, 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 really appreciate it. And I appreciate you listening to my words. Every single person who listens, I can't really even express with my words how grateful I am, because I feel it so much more deeply than my words can express. So thank you so much. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for supporting. I really appreciate it. All right, with all of that said, I will catch you next time on podcasts.